Seahawks did not play this week. They do play, I believe they play tomorrow on Monday, so the day this video is actually getting posted, but for my own sake, I'm glad I did not have to subject myself to another Seahawks game. I got a few comments last week's video about why didn't you cover the Cardinals game? Why didn't you talk about the Cardinals? The answer is because I was salty. I was extremely salty. That is why I did not cover the Cardinals. But this week, I'm covering everybody. No skipped games. Starting with the New York Giants versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I predicted that the Giants would win this game. Obviously Tampa Bay won. And just kind of looking at my predictions and kind of remembering the outcome of some of these games, I think this is going to be a bad week for me. Also, I saw a comment on my last video basically asking, why did you pick against New England? Just to reiterate, for maybe people who haven't seen the former videos in this series, I made all of these predictions before the season started. Every single one of them, before game 1 was even played. Now, I know a lot of people smarter than me, make their predictions before the week starts, so they can go based off of recent performance. But I, being a stupid person, made all my predictions before anything happened, so then I can just continue to be wrong a lot. Anyway, the Giants versus the Buccaneers. I predicted the Giants. This game was not even close. 10-30 in favor of the Bucs, and this was in Florida as well, so home field advantage there, and Tampa Bay was a 10.5 point favorite. They won by 20. Daniel Jones, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. 2 of those things. Tom Brady, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So flip their touchdowns and interceptions around, and that's Tom Brady and Daniel Jones. Not a very exciting game, just the obvious outcome of the better team won. Moving on to an actual exciting game, at least for me, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I predicted a Cincinnati victory, and thank the heavens, they did it. The Cincinnati Bengals blow out the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not even close. They beat them by 31 points, 41 to 10. And it's not like, Roethlisberger was hurt or something. Ben Roethlisberger played this whole game. But, 41 to 10 in favor of Cincinnati. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now 5-1. They are third in the AFC North, and the Bengals are 7-4-0. They are second in the AFC North. So, with this victory, unless things go dramatically wrong, the Bengals have pretty much cemented themselves as being ahead of the Steelers. It would take a lot for the Steelers to jump them for second place right now. So Cincinnati, like I said, unless things go terribly wrong, they seem pretty locked in right now to that spot. I don't think they could really challenge for first. It's possible, definitely. There's still plenty of football to be played, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to be able to leapfrog the Bengals. Ben Roethlisberger first down and then the touchdown, if I remember correctly. 10 yards. Joe Burrow rushing touchdown to start the game. But, yeah, and then he got his one touchdown was to T. Higgins. Just a shellacking. Just an absolute shellacking. Like, I'm gonna read off the play-by-play. Bengals rushing touchdown, Bengals field goal, Pittsburgh field goal. Okay, end of the first. Second quarter, Bengals passing touchdown, Bengals rushing touchdown, and then an interception return touchdown, a pick six. That's the second quarter. Third quarter, Bengals field goal. Fourth quarter, Bengals rushing touchdown, and Ben Roethlisberger does not get his touchdown until the end of the fourth quarter. So just, Cincinnati's already letting off the gas a little bit at that point. So, yeah, just a shellacking. It wasn't even close. But, like I said, I've been watching the Bengals, whenever I'm able to, because they've been an exciting team to watch. I like Burrow, I like those guys, so this was a fun game to watch. Okay. The Tennessee Titans versus the New England Patriots. I predicted Tennessee Titans, of course. That was before, half their team and all their best players get hurt, but New England comes through with the W on this game. And Mac Jones looks real good. I don't know if I want to say this was his best game of the season so far. I feel like he might have had one or two, maybe not two, but I think he might have had one game better than this. But this definitely felt like it could have been his best game of the season. Final score, New England 36, Tennessee 13. Both teams are 8-4-0, and both teams are in first place in their respective AFC conference. South for Tennessee, East for the Patriots. So the Patriots remain in first place in the AFC East, and the Bills are now back down to second. Hoping that, they don't have to. The shadow of the New England Patriots has been haunting that division, and it has now returned. And unintentionally, I kind of wore a little bit of a Bill Belichick cosplay here with the big baggy sweater, sweatshirt. But yeah, like I said, 36-13 in favor of New England. Ryan Tannehill, Ryan Tannehill, 93 yards. 93 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Yep, 93 yards, one touchdown, one interception for Tannehill there. Mac Jones, on the other hand, Mac Jones, 310 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and one of his touchdowns was just absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure what the technical term for that type of play is, but he basically had one of his receivers in the end zone flaring out, and he just kind of lobbed it up over, and it just dropped right into the basket there in the end zone. Beautiful pass. Mac Jones, legit, and how many field goals? New England had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field goals this game, so that's all Mac Jones, getting him into position. 5 field goals. That is 15 points from their kicker. Absolutely wild. Yeah, they were 7-point favorites in this game, and they won by 23. So I hope you bet the over. And I saw this. There's was this tweet, and it said, this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler for the game that's coming later, but it said Bill Belichick and the Patriots are 8-4. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are 8-3. Turns out both guys are really, really good. It's true, because when they had their breakup, people were thinking like, oh, who was the real mastermind? Was it Brady or was it Belichick? Which one's the fraud? Turns out neither of them were frauds. They were both pretty legit, and the stars aligned perfectly for them to just destroy the rest of the league for a while. Now we have the New York Jets versus the Houston Texans. I predicted Houston, and probably even going into last week I would have gone with Houston, but New York gets the victory in Zach Wilson's return to the lineup. He had been out injured the last few weeks. He comes back in. I'm not going to say he had a fantastic game. He had an okay game. Obviously, his team got the victory, so that's all that matters. Zach Wilson, 145 yards, 0 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, but he does have a rushing touchdown. In the third quarter, just a little QB sneak for like 4 or 5 yards, something like that. Tyrod Taylor, he has 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So Tyrod having the better game compared to Wilson, but his team just coming up short. Both of those passing touchdowns for Tyrod coming in the second quarter, where in that second quarter the Jets would answer with a touchdown just before halftime. The New York Jets are now 3-8-0. They are 4th in the AFC East. Isn't it insane that, sheesh, 3-8-0. For some reason I thought I read that it's 3rd, but no, obviously it's 4th. You'll have to excuse me, I'm very tired. The Houston Texans, 2-9-0. They are 3rd in the AFC South. So this is what I was going to say was insane, is that the Texans have 2 victories, 9 losses, and somehow they are not the worst team in the AFC South. There is one team worse than them. That's pretty absurd. The LA Chargers versus the Denver Broncos. I predicted a Chargers victory, but Denver comes through. They get the dub, and I am now 4 for 5 to start this week. And trust me when I say, it only gets worse from here. 4 for 5 to start this week. Teddy Bridgewater, much like Joe Burrow, first score of the game, first touchdown, Teddy Bridgewater getting a rush. The final score was 13-28, by the way. I can't remember if I mentioned that. Teddy Bridgewater getting like a 10, 11, 12 yard rush for the touchdown. That starts the game. Second quarter, boom, another touchdown for Denver. But Justin Herbert makes a beautiful passing play in the before half to Eckler, I believe, and it's 14-7 going into halftime. Nothing happens in the third quarter, but then in the fourth quarter, Bridgewater gets one more passing touchdown, and then Justin Herbert with the pick six. He makes up for it at the end with a touchdown, but that one really killed his team. And I don't know what's happening to Herbert. I mean, to start the season, he looked like a top, do I say top 5? Maybe top 7, top 8 quarterback in the NFL. I had really high hopes for Justin Herbert, but he's had a few really bad games the last few weeks, and you have to wonder, like, if there's something up with him, if defenses are maybe starting to figure him out a little bit. I don't know. I can't say that I'm not concerned Chargers are second in the AFC West, and the Broncos are fourth in the AFC West. So, Chargers, I'm assuming even though they lost this, they still hold the overall tiebreaker, better divisional record. But that 2 through 4 spot in the AFC West is anybody's guess at this point, because they have the same record. 2, 3, 4, all of the same record. So it's anybody's guess at this point. The Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. I predicted a Cleveland victory here. Well, time to go 1 for 6. What's happening? There we go. Time to go 1 for 6 because Baltimore gets the W in this game. Final score 10-16. And the Browns not looking great. I know that there was some, I don't know how much stock to really put into this, but there were some rumors, however you want to refer to it as, that the Browns might be looking to draft a quarterback in this year's draft, implying that they are not sold on Baker Mayfield. I can't say I blame them because things have not worked out. I mean, even putting really good talent around him, like he's had the last couple of years. They're 500 right now, and just looking at their roster, like on paper, you wouldn't really expect them to be 500. I don't think. It's tough, and I know for the Browns, especially losing against the Ravens is terrible. Obviously a big rivalry there, and I mean the funny thing about this game though is Baker Mayfield actually had a better game than Lamar on paper. Just obviously his team couldn't win. Final score 16-10 in favor of the Ravens. If I did not say that already, Baker Mayfield, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Lamar Jackson, are you guys ready for this? Brace yourselves. Make sure you're sitting down. 165 yards. Okay. 1 touchdown. All right. You can still win with 1 touchdown. That's fine. 4 interceptions. 1, 2, 3, 4 interceptions. Now, thankfully for Lamar, none of those were pick sixes. But what does that say about the Browns? That in a game where they were gifted 4 additional offensive possessions, they still lost. And they only scored 10 points. What does that say about the Browns? The Browns went against a quarterback, got 4 interceptions against that quarterback, and they still couldn't win. That's really bad. That's really bad. The Browns had 15 more minutes of possession than the Ravens did. They had the ball on offense for 15 more minutes. That's, what an ugly game. You need to win those. You need to win those. If you're gifted all that, you need to win. Terrible game from the Ravens. They still get the W, but the Browns could not capitalize on a gift wrapped. Lamar Jackson gave them the game, put it in a box, gift wrapped it, put a bow on it, and handed it to them. And the Browns just threw it in the trash without opening it. Oh. Okay, I almost closed it. Moving on to the next game, Las Vegas versus Dallas. I predicted a Las Vegas victory here. If I was doing week-to-week predictions, I would have predicted Dallas here, but maybe it saved me in this regard because Vegas actually gets the W in overtime. So finally, back in the W column, I'm 2 for 7. Final score of this game is 36-33 in favor of the Raiders, of course. High scoring game, 69 total points. And two really good games. Both quarterbacks had really good games. If you're a fan of quarterback play, this game was really good stuff. Derek Carr, 373 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Dak Prescott, 375 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So Dak had 2 more yards, 1 more touchdown than Derek Carr, but Carr gets the W with his 3 extra points, and there was a lot of scoring this game. I'm just gonna read through the play-by-play to give you an idea of all the scoring here. Raiders passing touchdown, Cowboys passing touchdown, Raiders rushing touchdown, Raiders field goal, Dallas rushing touchdown, Raiders rushing touchdown, Dallas kick return touchdown, one of my favorite plays in all of football, 100 yards, Raiders field goal, Dallas field goal, Raiders field goal, Dallas passing touchdown, Raiders field goal, Dallas field goal, the overtime, Raiders field goal. What a fantastic high-scoring game. 2 great QB performances, over 700 yards, almost 750 yards of just passing. Great stuff. The Raiders are now 6-5-0. They are 3rd in the AFC West. The Cowboys are 7-4-0. They are 1st in the NFC East. What's our recording time at here? So I want to make sure I'm not going too long. Okay, we're at about 25 minutes. Okay, might have speed up just a little bit. The Buffalo Bills versus the New Orleans Saints. I predicted a Buffalo victory, and they got me a W. They got me a George W right there. Final score 31-6 in New Orleans. Buffalo was a 7-point favorite. They end up winning by 26, 25. Hold on. They end up winning by 25. Yep. Josh Allen. Pretty good game from him, I'd say. Okay. Good. Pretty good. Really good. Great. Fantastic. Amazing. Pretty good. Pretty good to really good game for Josh Allen. 260 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Trevor Siemian, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. There's not a ton to say about this game. Like I've said a couple different times now, like, good team versus bad team. The Saints are really banged up right now. A lot of their best players aren't playing, and the Bills, I almost wonder if, with the Patriots being so good again and them taking the first spot in the AFC East from the Bills, if that isn't perhaps some added motivation for them, because Bills are kind of always used to being like one of the little brother teams in the division to the Patriots. But then last season they were kind of like anointed as front runners, but the Bills aren't front runners. That's not their identity. But it seems like now that they're chasing a little bit, their performances this was a pretty good QB battle, and I think that the Colts could have won this, but there was one interception on Wentz that was it was kind of 50-50. He was throwing it to his receiver, like a big deep ball to his receiver, but the Tampa Bay defender gets the interception. And I think if Wentz hadn't been picked off there, that the Colts could have won this game. Tom Brady, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kind of a quiet game from Tom Brady. Carson Wentz, 306 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And it seemed like Wentz kind of knew that he would have to do a lot in this game to get the victory over the Buccaneers. And he did do a lot, those 3 touchdowns, but sometimes doing a lot can lead to the 2 interceptions. Like I said, one of those was like a 50-50 ball, and to me, it kind of looked like the receiver gave up on the play a little bit. The Tampa Bay player jumped up and went to the ball, and the Indianapolis receiver just kind of stood there, and I was like, you just let him grab it from you. I don't know. You guys might have a different read on that. You might have thought it was a bad pass. I thought it was 50-50. I didn't think it was egregious. And I mean, the thing is with the Colts, it kind of sucks. Is they were leading this game most of the way. They went into halftime 24-14 in favor of the Colts. But then Tampa Bay comes out in the third and puts up 14, goes ahead by 4. Then they get a field goal to go by 7. Indianapolis gets a rushing touchdown to even it out. But then at the end of the game, Fournette runs it in. They go up by 7. Bing, bang, boom. That's all they wrote. Tampa Bay is now 8-3-0. They remain first in the NFC South. The Colts are 6-6-0. They are second in the AFC South. So Colts, perfect 500 game, but the Colts have continued to look good. It's just that they ran into, one of, if not the best team in the league. I don't take too much away from them for this performance. If anything, in my mind, this performance kind of elevates them because they were able to hang with Tampa Bay so long. Obviously, that third quarter is kind of rough, giving up 14 and not scoring anything in the third. And that 1 interception by Wentz was rough, but I think beyond that, they played a good game, and this should be seen as a positive game for them. But we move on to Carolina versus Miami, and I need another sip of water. My mouth has been very dry today. Okay. That shocked me. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but it shocked me. I predicted a Miami victory here, and Miami does get the W. They win by 23 points, 10-13. that is disgusting. Now Cam Newton did get a rushing touchdown. I'm gonna give him that. First quarter he got a rushing touchdown. This is the week of the QB rushing touchdown, but come on, dude. A QB rating of 5.85. I have never seen a single-digit QB rating before, ever. Tell me if you've ever seen a single-digit QB rating before, because I have not seen it. I didn't think it was possible. I remember, like, last week or the week before, I was talking shit about, like, a 33 QB rating. Well, who cares about 33? That's what, 100, 200? That's six times better than Cam Newton's rating. Oh, disgusting. Moving on to Tagovailoa, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Tua Tagovailoa had a QB rating of 108.3, and just to rub salt in the wound, what's 108.3 divided by 5.8? Cool. So Tua Tagovailoa played 18.6 times better than Cam Newton. The Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins are both 5-7-0. The Panthers are 4th in the NFC South. The Dolphins are 3rd in the AFC East. Moving on, Atlanta versus Jacksonville. I erroneously predicted Jacksonville, and Matt Ryan and Atlanta came in and cleaned their clock. And when I say clean their clock, I mean they won by 7. It was actually not a bad game by the Jaguars. In Florida, it should be noted. A final score 14-21. I think I already said that. The Falcons winning by 1 score. Matt Ryan, 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Trevor Lawrence, 228 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So, not a very exciting game, and just to be completely upfront, I did not watch this game. I did not even watch highlights for this game. Although one of Trevor Lawrence's touchdown in this game, his touchdown to Davon Austin, I believe I say his name, Davon Austin, made it into like the top 10 highlights of the entire NFL for the week, so I did see that. And that was a pretty good pass. Davon Austin was wide open in the end zone. Lawrence lasered it to him. Boom, boom. But yeah, 21-14, as I said for the 3rd time. The Falcons, they are 5-6-0. They're 2nd in the NFC South. The Jaguars are 2-9-0. They are 4th in the AFC South. The Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions. I predicted a Detroit victory, of course. Why did I not predict a Detroit victory? Chicago obviously won. Detroit was close. This was a 2-point game. 2-point game. They were so close to victory here. The Detroit Lions were so close. They were so close. They just couldn't get it. Final score 16-14, which that's 30 total points. I don't think I've ever seen a 16-14 game before, but I'm sure it's happened. Andy Dalton. It's Andy Dalton again. 317 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jared Goff, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Goff. What was that thing I saw about Goff? Nothing. Cool. I didn't see anything about Goff. The Chicago Bears. They are now 4-7-0. They are 3rd in the NFC North. The Detroit Lions. They're still winless. 7-13. The Eagles were actually favored in this game, but this was at MetLife. This was in New York, well, New Jersey, New York, whatever you want to say. Eagles, they're 5-7-0. They're second in the NFC East. The Giants are 4-7-0. They're fourth in the NFC East. Let's go to the Minnesota Vikings versus the San Francisco 49ers. Niners, bang, bang, Niners gang. I predicted a San Francisco victory, and they delivered. The Niners have now won 3 in a row, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, the Niners have won 3 in a row. This was a close game. This was a really close game. Final score 26-34 in favor of the Niners. Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo both played really good games. Jimmy Garoppolo just did more of what he needed to do, and the third quarter of this game was insane, and then the fourth quarter was nothing happened. So, you go into halftime with this game tied. Both teams 14 points tied. First quarter, each team got a touchdown. Second quarter, each team got a touchdown. All right. And then the third quarter, come out, boom, boom, left hook, right hook, back-to-back rushing touchdowns for the Niners. They go up 28-14. Let's go. Vikings come back, boom, rushing touchdown. Niners go down, can't convert, boom, field goal. Vikings run it back. They run back the kickoff. Boom, they're right in it. They're in punching distance. They just need that big overhand right, and they're going to win this fight. But a field goal ends it. A field goal ends it for the Niners. Puts them ahead. Kirk Cousins. Like I said, both QBs played really good games. Kirk Cousins, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jimmy Garoppolo, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Oh yeah, but I just went over all that action that happened in the game, but then that was all third quarter. Then the fourth quarter, it was like the last round of a fight, and the boxers just kind of went out and circled each other and didn't throw any punches or anything, and they just let it end. The third quarter informed a game that didn't happen. Like, you were expecting an exciting end, but it just never came. Like I said, final score 34-26 for the Niners. The Vikings are 5-6-0, but they remain the second seed in the NFC North. The Niners are now 6-5-0. They are third in the NFC West. Like I said, they have won 3 in a row. Speaking of the NFC West, speaking of winning 3 in a row, we moved to the Los Angeles Rams, who went in today against Green Bay, who I predicted. And they lost their 3rd game in a row. The Rams have lost 3 games in a row. I don't think you remember, but when Von Miller put out a tweet when he got traded to the Rams, and he said something like, I just woke up on a 7-1 team or something like that. Yeah, that's it. And he said, I went to bed like on a whatever team. I woke up on a 7-1 team. That was Von Miller's tweet. I saw this post, and it said, the Rams are 0-3 since the moment Von Miller woke up on a 7-1 team. And then I saw this other thing about Matthew Stafford, who is the quarterback for the Rams, and it said Matt Stafford is now 9-70 all time against teams with a winning record. 9-70, 7-0 all time against teams with a winning record. That is atrocious, first of all. Now, obviously, most of that is in Detroit, but still, that's really bad. Final score of this game is 28-36 in favor of the Packers. But it's not even like Rodgers, 5 more yards. Stafford, 1 more touchdown. Rodgers, 1 fewer interception. If you're a fan of quarterback battles, if you just like watching 2 quarterbacks just gun it out, sling the ball, this was a fantastic week of football for you. There's a lot of really good quarterback battles this week, for sure. And this game had a ton of action. It also should be noted that Aaron Rodgers had a rushing touchdown in this game. The first quarter, 7 points scored. 30 total points between the 2 teams scored in the second. 16 scored in the third. 11 scored in the fourth. Like I said, just a lot of scoring in this game. Also, I think that this was OBJ's first receiving touchdown as a member of the Los Angeles Rams. Don't quote me on that. He might have had one last week or the week before, but I'm pretty sure this is OBJ's first receiving touchdown as a member of the Rams. The Rams are now 7-4-0. They're second in the NFC West, and the Packers are 9-3-0. They remain the top spot in the NFC North. And that is that. Bad week for me. There's a lot of red on my board here. There were 15 games. Okay, so 15 games, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 8 out of 15 correct. So just above 500, because 7.5 would be 500, but not high enough to increase or maintain my overall season record. I was 53% correct this week. Okay, so then we go to plus 8, so I do 114.5 out of 179 correct for the season. Let's pull that calculator back up. 114.5 divided by 179. And I am sitting now at an accuracy of 64% correct. Now, the only saving grace to all this is that the lower my percentage goes, the less accurate I have to be in the ensuing weeks to raise my percentage back up. Look at the silver linings in life. Look at the glass as half full, not half empty. That is some delicious water. Make sure to drink your water, kids. And that is my closing advice for you this week. I have some really good stuff coming out the rest of this week. I hope you guys tune in for that. A couple concerning videos last week. They got really low views, but I'll take that. I'll make my adjustments. I'll roll with the punches.